I am going to show you exactly how you can go from this to this. But first, if you're new here, where have you been? I am James, I am a dog groomer, and I have been dog grooming for near enough 5 years. Actually, no, more than 5 years. Anyway, it's been a while. I have a great catalogue of videos for you to go and watch. So get back, have a filter through, have a good old binge, and let me know if you like it. And I will always try and give you a word to leave in the comments down below. And today is going to be a great one. It came to me at approximately 2:30 in the morning whilst I had been up for an hour with my baby girl because she just did not want to sleep. But you know what? That's fine. Anyway, let's talk exactly how we are going to do this. I have got an attachment comb 3, which is the blue one, over the F30 blade, and I am going to start from the top of the neck and go down the top line to the base of the tail. I am then going to come around the sides of the neck to the point of the shoulder and just over the top of her leg there, as you can see. I am then going to trim around the body, going nice and slowly. If you rush it, you will miss hair and you'll have to do about 400 times. I probably go over about 2 or 3 times to try and make sure I get as much of the hair as possible. And then when it comes to going around the leg, you are going to make an arch from the tuck up to the top of the bone at the back there. So as you can see, it looks like a little moon shape, which is just going to give you a nice bit of shape and allow this teddy bear trim to come to life. It is then really important to brush that coat back up and repeat the process just to make sure you are getting as much of that coat off as possible, and this will leave a nice neat finish. And once you have done this on one side of the dog, repeat the process on the other side until you are ready to clear out the throat area. For the throat area, with the exact same length comb attachment, you hold the head up looking upwards because this will make everything nice and tight and there'll be no loose skin. On a dog like Clemmie here, it's very unlikely that she'd have loose skin, but this just ensures that it's nice, tight, and nothing could get caught in the clippers. Again, once you have gone over that coat, brush it up and repeat the process again, just to make sure that you are getting as much of that hair off as possible. Once the body is nice and trimmed, it is now time to trim that feet. That feet, that foot, those feet, whatever you want to say, we're trimming the feet. Anyway, we're going to make them nice and round. So I hold her paws out behind her and trim around in a circle, following the sort of shape of the paw, but just as big or as little as you'd like it to be. And with the closer up view you're about to see, you will see exactly what I'm on about. So I'm going to clear above the paw pads to start with. And once I have done that, I'm going to make sure that all the coat is out wide from the side of the foot. I can use my comb or I can use my finger and thumb and then just go nice and rounded shape. This will give you those cute teddy bear feet that we love to see. And then we will tidy the rest of the foot when we trim in the legs. So traditionally for a teddy bear trim, you would trim the legs on a longer length, so probably an attachment comb 5. However, Clemmie's owners like her to be the same length all over, so I am actually going to use my attachment comb 3 again, but this is still the process you would follow. You would clip over the leg, going nice and gently, brush the coat up, and then we will go over it again, and I will probably tidy it up with scissors too. Once the clipping is done, it is now time to put the shape into that leg. I'm just going to follow the natural shape and clip into the foot where we have shaped that nice round foot and trying to get it nice and balanced. I'm blowing the hair out of the way because it can get in the way and then you're cutting either hair you've already cut off or it's just going to create a bit of mess. So as clean as possible makes life a lot easier. And then on the back, I'm making a nice rounded bun. I'm following the shape of her legs, which is, as you can see, she's got beautiful angulation, and then just off the back of her hock and down into her foot again, and then I will just scissor around any stragglers of hair which are sticking out. Again, repeat this process a couple of times to make sure it is neat as possible. And then for the front leg, we want to clip over that leg as well to take the bulk of that coat off. If though your dog hates the clippers on the front leg, which lots of them do, you can use your scissors just to take that down nice and gently. Maybe use your blending scissors to keep it as neat as possible. For the tail, we want to blend the base of it into where we've trimmed the body, because you could have one big bushy tail and a tight body and that would just look very odd indeed. So I'm just gently going to scissor over the base and then we brush through the tail and we're going to make sure it's nice and flag-like. Brush it down, trim out any knots if there are any, and then just follow a nice rounded shape of the hair coming off the bottom. Again, you will see any stray hairs which need to go, and just get it looking nice and neat if you can. Oh, splendid. And now it's time to trim the head. I have increased the blade length, so I've still got a 30 blade, but I do have an attachment cone 5, which is the yellow one, and I'm just going to trim over the top of the head to take the bulk of that coat off, because it is much easier than scissoring it all over, to be honest, and it saves you a lot of time. I'm going down the sides of the face, and if you see any knots or find any knots, just cut them out with your scissors. Once you have gone over the top of the head, you can blend in the head into the body. So we've got two different lengths here, and we want a seamless transition. So get your blending scissors, maybe your chunkers if you're confident, and just take a little bit off and just make it as blended as possible. Hence, blending scissors makes it a lot easier. Hello, ear. And then I'm just going to trim off the coat at the back of her ears, which are going to go into her jaw, because otherwise it'd look absolutely massive and she'd probably look like a little alpaca. So we've blended the head into the body, we've trimmed behind the ears. Now we want to clear the corner of the eyes. I'm using some short straight scissors because it just gets it out quickly, easy. I make sure that the point of the scissors is never pointing directly into her skin. So if you were to move, those scissors would safely move away. So that's really important, because obviously you're dealing around the eyes here. You do not want any accidents whatsoever. Corners of the eyes cleared. Now we're going to trim the hair coming over in front of the eye. So I comb it forward, and then with my scissors just trim it off in a nice rounded shape, sort of the same sort of roundness that we want her nose to be. We comb it forward again and we brush it out, and any stray hairs you see, get rid of them. There's a theme going on here, isn't there? It's time to shape in that muzzle, so brush it through. Again, we do not want any knots. And then once we've brushed it down, I'm going to make sure it goes round from the base of the ear all the way to the front. And we're going to just shape it gently, nicely. And I actually find you've got to be brave here and take a little bit more off than you might think, because it can look really straggly. And the more brave I've got, the better I think my grooms have become, that's for sure. It's now time to shape the muzzle, and we're going to shape it into the same sort of circle as the top of the head here. So I've combed through it, comb it up. I've got my curved scissors here, and I'm just going to take a little bit off at a time, getting it nice, smooth, as gentle as possible, going round into the bottom of the muzzle, which I have just tried to shape as well. There's a lot of roundness going on here, a lot of circles, so try and get your eye in and get it as balanced as possible. It's honestly never going to be perfect first time. I have tried so many times to get them perfect, and I just can't seem to do it. But you will constantly improve the more you do it. I mean, I'm always watching other dog groomers who are amazing, and you know what? This is to make sure you've got a nice, happy dog with a good coat. And you can get a good looking dog very easily if you just follow these tips. I then want to shape the top of the head into the muzzle where I've just got the roundness going on. And this again is you're just trying to get it as balanced as possible. Comb it up, take any hairs that are coming off, see the shape you want beforehand, visualize it, and then make a sort of outline in your head of where you want it to follow, and just use your scissors to do that shape. Honestly, it sounds mad, but it does work. Fun fact about poodles for you, they originate in Germany and they were duck retrieval dogs, water hunters, mental. Hence why they had some pretty funky hair trims, and that was because the big thick parts of the coat would help protect the vital organs, and then the bits which were clipped really short reduced water resistance so they could swim nice and easily. Isn't that mental? Anyway, we've got three sizes of poodles. You've got standard, which are quite big, you've got miniature, and then you've got toy poodles like Clemmie here. And the toy poodles, I tell you what, they're not going to be searching, hunting anything, because, I mean, Clemmie's a little bit of a wuss. She's there to be a lap dog and to look gorgeous, and to be honest, she aces it. So we are coming to the end. We just need to trim in the ear. So comb through, make sure you find the bottom of where the ear lever is. Luckily, I've already done this and I know exactly where it is because I've trimmed Clemmie hundreds of times. But yeah, always check, and then just follow the natural shape. Again, nice, rounded, cute, anything. And then we're just faffing around, making sure we can get her looking as cute as possible. Again, brushing hair up, looking for any stragglers and trimming it away. And there you pretty much have it. If you have enjoyed this video and you've made it this far, then you are an absolute legend and I love you. And here is the word to come in the comments. And as I said, I thought of this about 2:30 in the morning, so it's a pretty weird one. It comes from the Kung Fu Panda movie, or that's where I know it from, and that is skadoosh. If you can include that in your comment, I mean, that would be amazing. thank you so much for watching. I hope you all go and binge my other videos if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. See you later. Bye. Also say bye to Clemmie because she's just so adorable.